Hello, I'm chylex and this is the third episode of a mod dev commentary. And if you don't know what this series is about, I'm always pick a mod that I made. It can be any mod, even mini mods. And I usually do that from your feedback. You can post comments on the video on which mod would you like to see next. Then I'm gonna review it basically. I'm gonna show you every aspect of it and some interesting information, maybe downloads or what I'm thinking about the mod, or why, if it is a mini mod, then why we chose it, and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna show you the code in Eclipse and post some useful pieces of the code for you to use in your own projects, because some people are starting with Java modding and I just wanna help you. So as you might notice, I've already played with the mod a bit. It's the fire grenade mod for 1.3.2, and what it does, basically makes throwable fire charges. And as you can see, when I throw a fire charge, it appears right in front of my face and it goes in the direction I'm looking in. And this is mainly the reason I chose this mod, because first, it contains that feature that might be really helpful if you want to make something similar. So I'm gonna definitely post the code of this. And the second reason is it's freaking awesome. I love destruction. From when I've tried TNT first, I've loved destruction and explosions. And something about this, the features in the mod, it's not a regular fireball, even though I changed it a bit, but as you know, if you shoot a fireball from a dispenser, or if a gas shoots a fireball, it doesn't have gravity. I changed that a bit so it goes down every tick, so it has something like a gravity. And if I take some snowballs, as you can see, the fire charges have higher gravity, so they go down a little bit faster. And the second thing is that it's a little bit more powerful than if a gas shoot it. I think the gas has 1.0 explosion radius, and this one has like 1.8 or something around that. I don't remember exactly. I'm gonna look at the code and you'll see it. And so far it has 126 downloads. It's available for single player and multiplayer. And this is pretty much all stuff you need to know about this mod. It's just a really quick way of getting rid of a forest or a village. Village was the first thing I was trying with it. And also, if I kept the original behavior, if you are looking at the block, if you see the hitbox, it still creates fire. And of course, if I go into survival mode, I throw a few of these, it's gonna decrease the amount of the fire charges I have in my inventory, just as if I do the original thing with them, which is kinda pointless because, you know, we have the flint and steel, but I just kept it. And throwing them is a lot more fun. So I'm gonna go to Eclipse now, show you the code, post a useful piece of it into the description, that piece that makes it go into the direction you're looking in, and then makes it right in front of your face, because otherwise it would explode inside you. And also, in this episode, I'm gonna show you another trick, like I showed you in the second episode. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. And this is the probably last episode that I'll be showing those little tricks that help you with modding, because I ran out of them. And since episode 4, I'm gonna start answering your questions. So Be sure to leave some feedback on which mod would you like to see next, and a question if you have some or more, and I'm gonna start answering those in episode 4. Look at this. This thing was a forest. So I'm in Eclipse, and as you can see, I've changed the entity fireball and item fireball classes, and in the entity fireball there are just a few changes. Here in the onUpdate method, I check if the entity that shot the fireball, because it can be a ghast, it can be null if it's from the dispenser, but if it's from the player, this is basically the little gravity. And here, okay, so it's when a ghast fires a fireball, the power or the radius of the explosion is 1.0, and when you shoot it, it's 1.75. So it's not that powerful as like TNT. TNT has a radius of 4, just for comparing. So it's not as powerful as TNT, but it's a lot of fun still. And here in the item fireball, this is where I make the creation of the fireball. I set the position and I set the acceleration. So this is a lot of stuff here. So let's go through it. Here I check if the player is in creative mode, and if he is not, then I'm gonna decrease the stack. Also here it plays the sound when you shoot from a bow, and here I create the fireball. I set the shooting entity to be the player, so I can check whether a player fired it, so I can make the gravity and the bigger explosion. And this vector here is a really useful thing, because the getLook method is for living entities, and that way you can check right in front of their face. This means it's one block in front of their face. And what happens here basically is that I set the position. I set it to be right in front of their face. I basically add the vector chords to the original player chords, and also here it's at the head level, so it doesn't spawn at like your feet. And here I get the vector where the player is looking, so this is how I determine the direction. And here I just set the motion, so it goes in that way that the player is looking at. And here I set the acceleration, which means basically that the fireball is gonna be faster every tick, so it's, I guess, a little bit more realistic maybe. But basically what I do is that I set the acceleration to be 1/10 of the motion speed, so it gets a little bit faster. As you could see, when you threw the fireball, it was getting a little bit faster. And here I basically spawned the entity into the world. So I'm gonna post this part into the description. I'm gonna make it a little bit more, well, it looks messy because that's just how my coding style is. I put everything in like one spot. I don't make like spaces like this. I don't like that for some reason. I can orientate in this, but if you are beginning, then you might not be able to, so I'm gonna try to make it pretty. And now I'm gonna show you the trick that I got for this episode. And basically I'm gonna go into app data in .minecraft, and here is a bed file. And what this for is basically a debug mode. So I run Minecraft in offline mode. As you can see, I'm player 157, and by doing that I can basically track all that stuff that happens. And if I use this, then every time I would shoot a fireball, it would say stuff in the console. So this is a really good way of trying the mod right in Minecraft, where you can use more mods at one time. You can have, like, when I was making the compatibility with Optifine in Entity Living that I told you about in the second episode, I had to use this because this is not the only thing that it does, that it shows you the output to the console, but it also prevents errors from shutting down the Minecraft. So if an error happens, you will see it here, because it doesn't stop the Minecraft, it doesn't close the window, and you will be able to fix the error. And this is basically how I figured out that I need to put there the public int persistent IT equals 0. So I'm gonna post that bat file into the description too for download. It's a really simple code. Basically what it does is it loads the libraries and then it creates the Minecraft window and runs Minecraft there. And that pause here will make it so when you end it, this doesn't stop. So if an error happens, this doesn't stop because it's gonna wait here and it's gonna give you enough time to go through the error and find out what is wrong. But of course you can use also this console here if you run it. This is basically the same thing as the console, but you have only your mod, and at the point when you think it's running perfectly, then you can try the compatibility with other mods. Of course you can run it with 2 mods and just try, but if an error happens, then this is gonna help you find out the error. So this was the third episode of the Mod Dev commentary. Be sure to check the links in the description. Also I will put there the download for the mod, and I think this is probably like the second or third mod that I had most fun with. And also don't forget to rate the video, and if you want to know stuff about my mods, my updates, right now I'm updating the Hardcore Ender Dragon mod, so a video might appear here, or I'm just gonna post the updates in my Twitter. Then follow my Twitter, the link is in the description as well. And if you want to see more videos, more mod dev commentaries, more AVCraft, more random stuff, and I might do the Hardcore Ender Dragon update video as well, then be sure to subscribe. So this is all for now. Thanks for watching and see you later. Okay, that's weird.